This is absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's going to be you that starts to crumble because all the pressure's on you. I'm fighting for...
Paul has got no bloody chance.
The boxing world erupted in confusion when Jake Paul asked to alter the fight rules only 3 days before his match with Anthony Joshua. Paul reportedly wanted 2-minute rounds instead of 3, attempting to change the core rules of the sport.
When I beat him next Friday, it's gonna be me, the one that's fucking laughing.
Just days ago, he was full of confidence. Now his desperation, panic, and unprofessional behavior all came out in one intense pre-fight scene.
These boys are heavyweights, and in heavyweight boxing, anything can happen. This at a heavyweight, obviously, it's going to be 8 3-minute rounds. You might think, well, that's better for Jake Paul, and I'm thinking, not really. It's better for Anthony Joshua because he's just going to go all out for them 8 3-minute rounds. And imagine that, Anthony Joshua blasting at you, 6'6", whatever he is, 250 pounds, throwing big bombs at you.
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is set for December 19th, and just 3 days before the fight, Jake requested last-minute changes to the rules. Yes, you read that correctly, not weeks away, not during negotiations, but at the point when everything in boxing is supposed to be set. At that stage, fighters are cutting weight, finalizing strategy, and staying focused. They are not trying to change the fight itself. That timing spoke volumes, and the first reaction in the boxing world wasn't curiosity, it was pure disbelief.
This is a 34-year-old Anthony Joshua. This is a terrifying human being. Terrifying.
In boxing, contracts and rules are finalized well ahead of time for a reason. Camps are structured around them, and training cycles depend on them. Requesting changes just 3 days before a fight is seen as unprofessional at best and a serious warning at worst. Insiders didn't hold back. The same description kept coming up in private talks and leaked messages. This wasn't confidence, it was panic disguised as negotiation. When a fighter feels in control, he stays quiet and lets time do its work.
The skills that win this fight, and I believe my skills are better than his, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's a very basic fighter, and he's gotten to where he's at because of the size and because of the...
What really blew this thing wide open wasn't just that Jake asked for changes. It was what he asked for. This wasn't about music in the locker room or the color of the canvas. He reportedly wanted the round structure adjusted, glove specs revisited, clinch limits tightened, and even more authority handed to the referee. That's not fine-tuning. That's reaching into the engine of the fight and trying to rewire how damage actually happens. Shorter rounds mean less time to get worn down. Bigger gloves take the sting out of power shots. Strict clinch rules keep a fighter safe when the pressure gets heavy. Extra ref involvement means quick saves the moment things start turning ugly. None of these changes point in different directions. They all point straight back to one place. Jake.
They try to keep me in one area or another. I'm all things. I'm an entrepreneur first. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm an influencer. I make Instagram posts. I'm a boxer. I'm a CEO, founder of Most Valuable Promotions. Right. I'm all of these things. I'm a man of Jesus. Like, the list goes on, but they just want to say, oh, YouTuber.
The reason this story spread so quickly is simple. Too many people saw it, and it was too unusual to keep quiet. Soon whispers started about Jake himself, not emotional outbursts or dramatic scenes, but physical signs those close to him couldn't ignore. Shaking hands during conversations and forced calm that didn't match his earlier confidence. These aren't behaviors fighters show when everything is on track, especially just days before the biggest fight of their careers.
He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him. Very upset that this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and, you know, a couple other guys that were legit boxers.
Adrenaline shakes usually happen after weigh-ins or face-offs, moments full of tension. They don't normally appear when camp is over and mental focus should be at its strongest. Bodies react to reality faster than words, and when these signs appear early, it usually means the outcome has already been decided internally. This didn't seem like strategy, it looked like damage control. What made it worse is that even Jake's own team reportedly wasn't fully behind the request. Some insiders say there were attempts to stop it with warnings that it would instantly make him look exposed. Those warnings were correct. Overnight, the mood around the fight shifted. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua stayed the same, following the exact rules he's always fought under and maintaining his usual calm preparation.
See someone who is trying to perfect his skills, someone who is trying to perfect his boxing skills. So in boxing, you have fighters that box at long distance, mid distance, short range. Some fighters that brawl, some fighters that walk forward like Pitbull, that come forward with their hands up. Jake's trying to become a boxer, and I respect it. I think that's probably one of the hardest styles to perfect.
Right.
You know, hit, be slick, not get hit, look for that knockout punch. And he's taking the hard road doing it that way, because most people will go into a gym and just try fight. But Jake's taking that road to try and be a good boxer, and I respect.
That contrast spoke louder than any insult could. Elite fighters don't react to fear with noise, they let it show in the air. When the requests were reportedly denied, the bravado didn't grow, it disappeared. Trash talk slowed, and the energy shifted. Because when a fighter truly believes they will dominate, they don't ask for protection, they wait for the bell to ring. 3 days out, the rules stayed the same, the opponent stayed calm, and the only thing that changed was perception. Everyone watching got the message clearly: you don't try to change the rules when you're winning, you try to change them when you already see the damage coming.
He's been fighting are not, none of them are 1/10 of what this man is as a fighter. His opponent in this fight, I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I am genuinely curious, because even while I think a heavyweight has a chance in any fight, a puncher's chance, I don't think Jake Paul has anything for Anthony Joshua.
Respect him?
The trembling moment wasn't meant to be seen, and that's exactly why it mattered when it leaked. The footage was grainy, half-hidden, the kind that appears when a phone isn't aimed properly. Jake is backstage during a normal exchange, nothing dramatic on the surface, but his hands told a different story. What makes it hit harder is how different he looked from just weeks before. At press events, interviews, and clips, he was loud, joking, and performing. That version of him filled the room easily. This version seemed to be trying to shrink away. His voice might still show confidence, but his body was saying something else entirely. And that's when the uneasy question comes in: what if Jake's body has already accepted something his words aren't ready to admit?
This is a spectacle. Did I ever think this was going to happen? Did I think this was going to happen in the year 2025? Did I think that AJ's next fight coming off the Dubois knockout at Wembley would be against Jake Paul? No. Did I think Jake Paul would pick AJ? No. The whole thing is a sort of like mind.
That question becomes even louder when you look at the rule change requests again, because suddenly they don't seem random. They seem calculated. Every adjustment Jake asked for targets the exact areas where Anthony Joshua excels. Clinch restrictions stop Joshua from leaning and grinding and unloading on the inside, where his size and experience dominate. Shorter rounds limit how much damage can pile up over time, especially when pressure fighters force a fast-paced. Bigger gloves reduce the impact of power punches that can end fights early. None of this is by chance. Fighters don't suddenly get picky about gloves 3 days before a fight unless they're thinking about one clean punch landing. They don't ask for more referee control unless they're imagining moments needing quick intervention. These aren't minor tweaks, they're defensive walls going up at the last second. It's like realizing the storm isn't letting up and boarding windows instead of leaving town.
Like everyone else he's fought Ben Askren, who's really a wrestler. You know, he fought Tyron Woodley, who was an elite MMA fighter, but, you know, not an elite boxer. He fought Nate Robinson, who was a basketball.
That question grows even stronger when the rule change requests are reviewed again, because they no longer feel random and instead feel carefully planned. Every change Jake asked for directly weakens the areas where Anthony Joshua is most dangerous. Clinch limits prevent Joshua from leaning, applying pressure, and working inside, where his size and experience take control. Shorter rounds reduce the chance for damage to build over time, especially when pressure fighters push a hard pace. Larger gloves soften the impact of power shots that often end fights early. None of this appears accidental. Fighters do not suddenly focus on glove details 3 days before a fight unless they are thinking about what happens when a clean punch lands. They do not seek extra referee control unless they are picturing moments they want stopped quickly. These are not small adjustments, they are last-second defensive measures put in place once the risk becomes clear.
So not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it. Knows how to keep that stick in your face. He was keep that jab in his face, and that right hand, if it hits you.
Joshua didn't need to say a word. Silence at this level is powerful. Trash talk invites a reply. Silence lets doubt grow. By staying quiet, Joshua's team sent the pressure right back. No negotiation, meant no relief, no conversation, meant no reassurance. The rules stayed the same, and suddenly Jake faced the reality he had been trying to soften. That's when the balance shifted. The one asking for changes now had to justify them. The one refusing them didn't owe anyone anything. In boxing, that dynamic is ruthless. One side looks braced for impact, the other looks ready for it. You can joke about antics, you can laugh at trash talk, but when hands tremble, rules get questioned and silence replaces bravado. The story changes. Then the fight isn't just about punches anymore. It's about who truly believes in what's coming, and right now, only one side seems fully at peace with it.
This is a giant Olympic gold medalist heavyweight. I mean, Anthony Joshua is fucking
He is the
terrifying.
thing that nightmares are made of.
And he's got that one punch nuclear power. One punch. And he's fast.
Punches anymore. It's about who truly believes in what's coming, and right now, only one side seems fully at peace with it. The closed-door meeting didn't last long, and it didn't go the way Jake hoped. The requests were listened to, considered for barely a moment, and then denied. No counteroffers. When he walked out, something had clearly shifted. The confidence that used to flow naturally now had to be forced. From that point on, the bravado looked borrowed. When a fighter who thrives on noise goes quiet days before a fight, it's never a good sign. Silence isn't strategy when it replaces instinct. It's what happens when there's nothing left to sell, and the clock kept ticking. 3 days left, same rules, same opponent, same reality. The only thing that changed was Jake. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua didn't flinch. No reaction, no response, no mercy, just preparation. So here's the question everyone has to face: if Jake truly believes he's winning, why ask for changes? Why seek help from the sport? Power doesn't negotiate, power waits, and when the bell rings, it collects.